guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be quite different for my channel as I'm going to be doing my daily makeup routine. So this makeup routine is going to be perfect for those that don't like overly heavy makeup every day but also suffer with drier skin because I use a lot of cream products and I like my skin to be nice and dewy and sort of glowing every single day. So yeah, if that is you, then just keep on watching. I'm going to be showing you all the products I use and exactly how I apply them on a day-to-day basis. So guys, now I'm sat ready to do my makeup. Obviously my hair is still a mess, it's exactly how I woke up. I don't wash my hair every single day and today I'm going to be curling it, so I prefer it when I've had it at least one day. So yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and get straight in with moisturising before I start my makeup. Got all my products in front of me, just to make sure you're sort of aware this makeup routine is going to be perfect for people with really dry skin. I have dry skin, it's very much sort of on my forehead, around my nose and around my chin, and I also get it a lot here. So yeah, all of these products are going to give you a nice dewy makeup look. The first thing I do is do an under eye moisturiser, and this is the one I use from Gatineau. So you literally use a tiny bit. I usually just do it on my little finger like so, literally a tiny drop, and then just rub it together like so, and then go in and apply it under the eye. You can obviously apply it up underneath the eyebrow as well. So yeah, just getting a nice even coverage, and I feel this moisturiser makes such a difference. The next moisturiser I go in with is actually from Roche-Posay. I actually picked this up when I was in Paris because it is so much cheaper over there, obviously because it's French. So this is the Hydraphase Intense UV Riche moisturiser. I think this also has hyaluronic acid in, so yeah, this does wonders for dry skin. So again, I just take it and I just pump a tiny bit, and then just do little dots all over my face, including my nose and my chin, and then just go ahead and rub it all in. Oh, I just quickly want to mention what I've been using on my face recently, which I'm in love with. This has been out quite a while, but you've probably seen it. This is the Sandstorm Self Tan Purity Water. So it's just like a clear mist, and you can spray it on before your makeup, on top of your makeup. But personally, I prefer to sleep in it, so I just spray it on quickly before I go to bed, on top of my moisturiser, and you just end up with a nice, healthy glow. I'm going to go ahead and try and start to cover up the blemishes. It's that time of the month, unfortunately, and my skin doesn't like to let me forget that. So as usual, I've got spots around my chin and I've got a lovely one in my eyebrow. So I'm going to start with some concealer. So this is the MAC Studio Finish Concealer, and I've got this in NC20. As you can see, it's literally dead. I desperately need a new one of these. But yeah, I'm going to be applying this with the detailer brush, and this is from Real Techniques. So I just literally get a tiny bit on my brush and then I just apply it to where the spots are, and I just want a bit of extra coverage, and then I'm just going to rub it in with my finger. So this concealer is very like heavy duty. It's not one that I'd ever use under my eyes or anything like that. It is literally just really good at taking away some of the redness and starting to cover up your blemishes. So now I'm going to go in with concealer, like a creamy concealer for under my eyes. So recently I decided to swap from putting concealer over my foundation to underneath my foundation, and I think I kind of like how that looks. So the one I'm using is my absolute favourite. This is from NARS. It is their Radiant Creamy Concealer that I know millions of people use. It's amazing. So I get this in the shade Vanilla, which is really quite pale, but for me that's pretty good at covering up my dark circles. So I just go ahead and do one under my eyes. So this is the main area that I use this concealer, and then I am going to do some on my chin just to make sure I've got all those blemishes really well. A little bit on my nose and that little spot in my eyebrow. So once I've got the concealer on, I'm just going to go ahead and I've just got my damp beauty blender, which is absolutely filthy, I know. It really needs a clean, and I'm just going to press that all in. So, under foundation. So the foundation which I'm using is one that I've loved and used for quite a long time now, probably a good couple of years. So this is also from NARS, and this is a Sheer Glow foundation. Again, this is a beautiful foundation that's got buildable coverage, and it does give you a really nice glowy and radiant skin. So yeah, I get this in the shade Punjab. This is when I do have face tan on, so it is a darker shade than my natural skin. If I'm pale and I've got nothing on, I use the shade Mont Blanc. But yeah, so basically I'm just going to squirt this out onto my finger and dab this around my face, just where I liked, just anywhere really, to be honest. I use probably about 2 pumps in total, or 3, depending on the day. So yeah, I just dab this all over and get this on, and then I'm going to go back in with my beauty blender and just stamp it all around my face and really blend it in nicely. I would definitely recommend a wet sponge. I would say this is the best way to apply this foundation, 1,000,000%. Okay, so this is what my skin looks like once all the foundation has been blended in with my wet sponge, and I think it is such a nice coverage, and like I say, for dry skin this is perfect. So obviously you can see my lips look mega dry because I did go over them with the sponge. So next I always just grab some Vaseline and rub a little bit of this on, and I allow this to soak in while I'm sort of doing my eyebrows and my eye makeup. So yeah, the Vaseline, it doesn't look too nice, but that's because it's obviously mixed in with bits of foundation. But I just leave it on there, and obviously I'll wipe it all off once I come to do my lips. But the next step in my routine will be, of course, doing some powder just to set the under eye area where I did put some concealer on before my foundation and around my chin. So the product I'm going to be using is from Laura Geller. This is the only powder that I use in the entire routine. This is the Balance and Brighten foundation actually, and this is in the shade Fair. But as you can see, it's this marbled effect, so yeah, it's got a nice bit of tan in there as well. And I'm going to be, oh, I don't have my brush, no. I'm just going to use this little brush, which is from Real Techniques again. So this is a contour brush, but I've left my powder brush upstairs. But if I was to use that, it would just be the little like oval shaped one that's pink from Real Techniques. So yeah, just tap a tiny bit in, knock off the excess, and just simply dot underneath your eyes. And I just do a little bit on my nose, and obviously where I've got those spots to make sure they're getting nice and covered. So yeah, and that is it for powder. I don't use any more powder than that. So now I'm going to go in with brows. So the first thing I do, pretty much like everyone, is brush my brows. So this pencil here is from YBF. I'll try and link this down below, but I can't remember if these are discontinued. But basically it's just a standard brow pencil with a brush on one side and a little pencil on the other. So I'm going to go ahead and brush both my eyebrows. I don't really spend too long on them. I just sort of give them a brush and a little bit of gel. So I'm going to go in with the gel from Bobbi Brown. So this is in the shade Mahogany, and this is their natural brow shaper. I absolutely love this gel. I think it works really well and gives me the nice colour. So yeah, I just go ahead and I'm going to brush both my brows. So as you can see, there is a nice bit of colour on my eyebrows now, but I do actually use 2 gels. So the other one I use is the Gimme Brow from Benefit. I know tons of people use this one. So this is in the shade 5, and the reason I use 2 is, as you can see, this one has quite a big brush, so it's really good for going across the whole eyebrow. But then when I do the little hairs at the front that I like to flick up, I like this one because it's obviously a lot smaller. So yeah, I'm just going to do the little hairs here, and this just helps me achieve the shape that I really want. So yeah, just do that on both sides, and then I am going to use a pencil just to kind of do the end of my brows and give a bit more of a defined shape. Okay, so now I've done with the gel, I'm going to go back in with my pencil and use this just to define the very edge. So I literally just go at the very beginning of my brow, just on the bottom. I never line on the top, and just sort of fill it in like so. This is just because, you know, nobody is blessed with perfect brows. We've all got little gaps here and there, so I just like to make sure they're a nice shape. So now my eyebrows are done, this is what they look like. So like I said, quite natural looking, nothing too big and bold. So for the next step, I'm going to go into my eyes. So usually what I do is I just pick up a brush out of my sort of brush set, one that I've used maybe on a night out when I've been doing a big makeup look, and I just dip that onto my eyelids. So the one I'm going to be using, this is from Real Techniques, but the name is actually rubbed off, but it's sort of a like angled brush, if you can see that. And this has got a sort of warm, sort of browny nude shade on. So I literally just go in and sort of sweep the crease. This is just to give a little bit of definition, but on a day-to-day basis, I don't really wear anything on my eyes, just because it's obviously, it takes a long time and I don't really mind having bare eyes if you're just going for quite a natural sort of daily look. So yeah, I do also go on the underneath of my eye just to give some definition along the waterline as well and drag it up to the corner. But yeah, there you go. So you can see that's just given a little bit of colour, nothing too crazy though. Next I'm going to be curling my lashes. So these are the eyelash curlers that I've always used, and these are from oh, I don't even know how you pronounce it. Uemura? I'll link these down below, but these again are really highly rated and I absolutely love them. So I never ever skip this step, I always curl my lashes. So I just go in and give them a little curl. So next up, mascara. The mascara I'm using at the minute is the Hypnose Volume Reporter. I got this in a gift set for Christmas off my mum and I absolutely love it. Obviously this is just in the black shade, so I'm going to go ahead and apply this onto both eyes. And yeah, this is a really lovely mascara for both definition and volume. Oh my god, I just realised I brewed a coffee before I started this video. It is going to be so strong. Okay, I'm back. I have my coffee and I'm going to go and do the mascara on my other eye. Once I've done a layer of the Lancome mascara, I actually use a second mascara, and this one is from Benefit, and this, no, not Benefit, sorry. This is from Bare Minerals, and it is their Lash Domination Volumizing Mascara. So I like this just to give that extra boost of like big, thick lashes. So as you can see, this brush is quite a weird shape, but I absolutely love it. And you can pick these up at the airport in duty free. They have like a little gift pack, and it's a really good deal for 2 mascaras. I don't like overly defined bottom lashes, so yeah, just on one side, then gonna go back in and do the other. Okay, so now my lashes are done, I'm going to go in and do sort of contour and bronzer. I don't do like mega contour, but basically every day I like to use these. These are my #1 products from Charlotte Tilbury. So this is their contour wand and their beauty light wand. So basically like contour and highlight. So these are cream products, so again perfect for if you have a drier skin. So you just sort of twist the top, and then if you give it a little squeeze, the product comes out. But make sure you don't get too much product out because it is alarmingly dark when you put it on the skin, but it blends absolutely beautifully. So yeah, I just take this very sort of high up towards my ear, so I sort of start around about here, so a couple of inches away from my ear, and drag it up towards the top, and then a little few dots around my forehead. And that is literally it, and like I said, obviously it looks super dark on my skin, but it does blend out, so yeah, it just takes a bit of getting used to, so don't be alarmed if you did pick this up, because this is actually the light to medium one, so this is the lightest one they do, but honestly I think it's an absolute gorgeous colour and it works really, really well. So next I'm just going to be taking with me, I'm going to be taking the Expert Face Brush, again from Real Techniques. This is one of my all-time favourites. If you don't have this, for blending out contour, I think a sort of short but thick and dense brush is the best way to blend. So I literally just take it and I do sort of circular motions and blend it nicely all into the skin. So I'm going to start around my forehead like so. So as you can see, the colour literally disappears and it just leaves you with a nice bronzy glow. So I'm going to do all around my forehead. And then if I just turn my face to the side, I sort of stipple it into the skin initially like so, to make sure I'm keeping the shape that I really want. So you can see that there is a harsh line, but as you can see, you just give it a little buff and it blends out lovely. So that is exactly how I do it. And if you want to have a more natural look, then you can stop at this point and not apply any bronzer, because this does give your face some nice definition, but I do actually go ahead and apply some cream bronzer on top later on. So now I'm going to go in with the light wand. Again, this is exactly the same, so you just give it a little squeeze and then you can just simply draw it on. So I just draw under my eye and sort of up like that. So sort of little C shape, and it sort of stops just where my brow begins. And again, the same on the other side. If you want, you can do a little bit on your nose and a little bit on your cupid's bow. Again, this isn't too intense, it's really, really delicate, and I actually use the exact same brush that I've just used. You don't need to wash it or anything, and just give it a little blend. So again, I just use a very similar sort of, it's almost like a dabbing motion, and just dab that in like so. And you can see this is really subtle, it's not too like in your face, so it's not a blinding highlight. But if you do want to top it up, I just take my middle finger like so, and I'll just rub it on the sponge. So you can see, obviously make sure your hands are clean. You can see it's just on my fingers, and then if you just give it a little pat, this makes it slightly more intense. So I do tend to do this, and I just love the way this looks. Okay guys, so now my skin is feeling lovely and glowy with my little bit of highlighter on and my contour. Like I said, you could totally stop here if that was your thing, but I do like to define my cheeks slightly more. Also, I do this weird thing with my mascara now, so I take both my fingers and sort of just, well, I'll just show you, I just sort of curl my lashes, so just my top ones. And you need to do this when your mascara isn't still sticky wet but not completely dry. And if you just hold it up like so, I feel this makes such a difference, but maybe I'm just used to doing it and it actually makes no difference. So yeah, so can you see, like, once I've done that, I do actually think it makes a difference. Let me know. I don't know. But yeah, that's a little tip for you. But yeah, back on to the bronzer. So the bronzer I'm going to be using is this one, an absolute beauty guru favourite, the Chanel SOLEIL Tan de Chanel. This comes in one shade. It says it's universal, but I don't really think this would work on everybody, just because obviously super pale, I think it will be quite dark, but then obviously if you have a deeper skin tone, it's going to be like, it's not really going to show up very much, because if I show you the shade, so you just open it like so, that, ooh, it's got a big hair in it, ooh, gross. So this is the shade here. I just suggest sort of going into store and giving it a try. It is an absolutely beautiful shade, so if it does work for you, I definitely recommend. So again, I actually use the same brush that I used on both of the contour and the highlight, and I literally just sort of swirl this around like so, so just getting a little bit of product and not too much. And I use a very similar motion that I did for the contour, and I'm just sort of going over the top of where that is, and it's just going to give me a slightly deeper shade on my cheeks. So yeah, I absolutely love this product from Chanel. You know, I'm not one of these who's like, oh, I only use high-end makeup, but this is honestly beautiful, and I've never found a dupe for it. There's nothing that I've ever sort of tried I've thought, actually I could replace that in my makeup routine, because like I say, if you do suffer from dry skin, finding beautiful cream products you just never ever want to change. So yeah, I also take this around my forehead. So again, just to give a little bit of colour, but basically in the exact same places that we took the Charlotte Tilbury contour. And if you want to sort of drag this down your neck, which I sometimes do with the excess product, just to make sure that we've got a nice and blended tone. This also works really beautifully on your eyes, so sometimes instead of using like a little brush, I just swirl my finger in and just pat it on, and it just gives a nice bit of colour. But yeah, moving on, the next thing I go in with is also from Chanel. So the reason I have this is because although I absolutely love this product, I find a lot of blushers don't layer well on top of it. And you know, that's a known thing, like putting cream and then powder then cream, it kind of gets a bit mixed up and can look blotchy. So obviously Chanel's is designed to work in sort of harmony with this. So unfortunately I've kind of had to go with this, but nevertheless it's a gorgeous, beautiful blusher, and I've had this one already for like probably a year and a half, and if I just show you inside, this is the DEWY Contrast powder blush, and this is in the shade 370 and it's called Elegance. But if I actually show you inside the product, obviously after a year and a half of using it pretty much every day, it still has a lot of life left in it. So to be honest, it's kind of like a one-time purchase every few years, so I don't think that is bad. So I'm going to go in with my contour brush, which is again from Real Techniques, and I just dip it in like so, knock off the excess, and literally just do the tiniest little bit on my cheeks, just to give a more sort of rosy shade, so I'm not sort of all bronzy and one sort of colour. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So you can see my little cheeks are a little bit more blush. And that is totally it for the face, and I'm going to go and show you exactly what I do to my lips. Okay, so obviously I line my lips. The lip liner that I love is just from NYX. I think these are literally like £4, and this is my favourite shade in the entire world. So this is their NYX Suede Matte Lip Crayon, and this is in the shade Sandstorm. So yeah, absolutely love this. It's a very sort of browny but slightly pinky nude, and I just totally line my lips. I don't overline them or anything, and obviously I've got the Vaseline on there, so it's going to go on a lot smoother. I do tend to actually colour in my entire lip as well, so yeah, so I just sort of colour in the top and then give my lips a rub together, and because I've got the Vaseline on, the colour just spreads all around. And finally, the lipstick, which I absolutely adore and was a gift of my boyfriend for Christmas, is actually from Tom Ford. Now I know these are like crazy expensive, but they are absolutely gorgeous, and obviously it was a gift. So this is, the lip colour is Rouge à Lèvres. Okay, that's the name of the product. So this is in shade 60 and is called Bad Lieutenant. So if I just show you, it's this gorgeous creamy lipstick, and it's in a beautiful sort of pinky nude shade. I absolutely love this. So yeah, I just go ahead and apply this on my lips. So guys, this is the finished look. As you can see, well, I hope you can see on camera, my skin is dewy. It feels really nice. I don't feel like I'm overloaded with product. So yeah, this is how I do my makeup on a daily basis. I'm going to pop upstairs now and give my hair a quick curl. I will show you the products I use when I come back down, but basically that takes me under 10 minutes, and then I'll be ready and good to go out the door. So guys, now I've curled my hair and I'm ready to go. So the curlers that I use, if I just grab them, so they are from Babyliss. These are literally like, I think they're about 25 quid, and I absolutely love them. I'll link down below. I did a hair tutorial ages ago, literally years ago, but I still do it exactly the same. So obviously I just curl it all and then brush it out. To set my hair, I use this, which is the Studio Pro from L'Oreal, the Locket hairspray, and of course I would never go a day without using my absolute fave. This is Baptiste, but this is the XXL volume spray. Absolutely love this product. It's quite hard to get hold of, so I literally buy tons when it's on offer and I see it. So yeah, so this is exactly how I finish off my routine. So I definitely recommend those curlers. They literally take me like 10 minutes, like I said, to do my hair. So guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy this style video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. Obviously, if anybody has any questions, anything like that on any of the products mentioned, or any sort of technique or anything, do pop them down there and I will definitely get back to you. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed and had fun filming this. I think the makeup videos that I did years ago kind of suck, I'm not gonna lie. So hopefully this one turned out better. I will see when I get to edit it together. But yeah, it's been really nice seeing you guys today, and I look forward to seeing everybody next week.